Farkas, Director of the Novi Library, and welcome to Beyond Books. I am joined with our President of the Novi Library Board, Tara Michener. Tara, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about library goals, which might not seem very exciting to some people. The topic doesn't seem sexy enough.
It excites me.
It excites me because what we're going to be telling you is some really great things that are coming in 2018-19 to the library, right?
That's right, and goals can be exciting, and in the new year, people decide what they're going to do for the rest of the year, right? They decide their goals, their resolutions. We do the same thing here. It's fun.
I know that you and the library board had a meeting back in June, and you actually took time, a couple hours, to discuss where you want to see the library go this year.
Yes.
When it comes to customer service, and you talked a little bit about finances and where the library is going financially, which obviously we've got a very sound financial institution put together for the library and how it runs on an annual basis. But I know they're looking for us to be watching how we spend and what we spend, how we can be better fiscal agents, for the library, and so that we are using taxpayer dollars in the best way.
Yes.
And aside from that, but there's also some projects that I know that we want to tackle. We've talked a little bit, if people don't know, a little bit about a lending library and what is a lending library. And so this is a large kiosk. It's a separate actual vending type of system that we hope we will be incorporating somewhere in the north end, just north of 96, and it's like a kiosk. You can literally check out different types of materials from that kiosk and give another access point to the library from the physical building.
Yes.
So the lending library is something that's on our radar for hopefully implementing, I hope, in 2019.
I hope so too.
Yes. So we've been talking about that for a while. Then we've got a renovation project that we're looking at for our upstairs, and it's going to be a maker space, maker lab type concept. We have a computer lab now, and we're hoping to bring in some really neat DIY type components to the building in the next year. And so that's a potential also for some growth and some change.
Very exciting changes, right?
It is. We opened 8 years ago, and I believe this building is state of the art still because the staff keeps it relevant. It keeps us moving into what people are trying at home, what they might be seeing in a museum, what they might be seeing out in, when it comes to technology. And we continue to do the same here. So that's why some of those goals continue. I know that you're involved in the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten with your son, Cannon. Talk a little bit about that and how you're doing that with him.
I would love to talk about that. So can I just tell you that the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program is not only good for our kids, it's good for us adults.
Yes.
We talk about goal setting. Well, sometimes it's hard for us to set goals to actually have our kids read. We know they should, but the implementation is not easy. That program not only disciplined my son and made him really excited about reading, but it disciplined me and my husband too. He is one of the first kids that actually got the 1,000 books done.
Yes.
But let me tell you, that was a hard job for all of us.
Right.
We had to be very disciplined. We had to make sure he was reading in the morning. We had to make sure he was reading before he went to bed. We had to make sure that if we were going out, we brought books with us.
Sure.
But it wasn't a chore.
And
it was
I'm so
fun.
glad to hear that. Yes.
It was fun. And it also made us use less screen time. We weren't turning on the TV as much. We thought, well, we should read.
Right.
We would take books to the park. We would, he had a little red wagon. We would bring books in there. So when we took the wagon to the coffee shop. So you get creative.
You do.
But you also discipline yourself. So now that he's completed that, he's a better reader, and we're more disciplined to make sure he does it, which is good because once he gets to kindergarten, he is expected to read a certain amount of time per day.
Right.
So
he's used to that process.
Yep.
And do you think, I'm curious, do you think his literacy has improved and increased over the time that you did the program?
Incredibly. His actual pronunciation is amazing. When he first started, he was, younger, he was 3.
Right.
So, he was a 3-year-old talk.
Right.
It wasn't like perfect, pronunciation or anything like that, but he uses larger words. He has a better understanding. And if he doesn't understand what something is or what a word is, he asks.
So that whole exploration has been part of it. And that was the biggest goal of the library. I believe 1,000 books. That's a lot of books. But if you're starting at the age of, 1, you have 4 years. We don't want someone to think they have to rush into it and get all 1,000 books done in 1 year's time. I mean, we get it, and obviously reading, we want it to be fun. We don't want it to be a chore, like you said. But it's the whole point of the project was to build literacy and build understanding of words, and to be able to recognize them, and to be able to, as you said, be able to say them correctly and understand what they are.
And be resourceful. The kids' teachers, daycare workers, aunts, uncles are reading to them.
Right.
Write those books down.
Right.
I used to send his preschool teachers, emails. Hey, what'd you guys read today? I would look at their agenda and see that there's books on there. I would add those because
so it doesn't have to be just you. Yes,
no.
It's any books
Get your
that
community
they're
involved.
Any books that they're being exposed to at any time. Well, we've continued that goal. We want that to continue. We added an early literacy librarian to our staff full time. Her name is Emily Brush.
She's amazing.
And I know she's been on camera before, but she's going to be doing a lot more work with our preschools and with our parents to continue to work this particular project and make it continue to be as successful as it's been.
Yeah.
I know we have hundreds of children right now that are part of the program, and if you aren't part of that program, we highly recommend you get involved with us. It's a great fit, and it's just a wonderful thing that you can be doing with your children anytime, all the time, basically.
Build great memories.
It does. So another thing that we've talked about when we were doing our strategic planning was, to look at maybe hosting some town hall engagements.
Yeah.
Which would be great to get other people from our community involved and talk about different topics here at the library. We're really focusing also on some diverse opportunities, diverse topics, and having some what I call courageous conversations here at the library, and we think we're a good venue for that. And then we also want to bring some health awareness. So there's going to be even some programs that will come up this year that talk about health topics as well. Yeah. You know our motto. What is it?
Inform, inspire, include.
Yes, and I think that becomes a focal point of our goals this year, and how we're going to stay focused for those 3 words: inform, inspire, include.
Yeah.
All 5 of them tie into that very well, and I think we've got some great things to work on. And the last thing to add is we're going to do some strategic planning.
Yes.
We are done with our strategic plan, and we're looking at putting in a 3-year plan from 2019 to 2022. And I know you're going to be part of it, and you're going to be helping us, but we're going to be putting together some focus groups and looking for our community to drop in and have some meetings with us and share, what does Novi want? What do parents, what do older adults, what do kids and teens want from the Novi Library? And we want to hear from you this fall when we put those sessions together. And I know you'll be joining us and helping us out with that process.
Isn't it the great thing about this library? We care about our community's input. We want to know what you want so that when we bring a program to you, it's actually what you asked for.
Exactly. We don't want to put something together that we don't find will be useful in some way. And again, it goes back to those 3 words.
Yep.
Well, thank you for
joining
me
for having me. I really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure having an opportunity to share, what the board is thinking about this year, and to also talk a little bit about library.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on Beyond Books.